asked everybody at the start of the show to write down the 3 players that have really impressed you this season in the Premier League, but it cannot be a player from your own team.
Don't worry about it, it's easy. Didn't have any candidates anyway, mate.
Don't worry about this side of the desk.
Okay, so
It's the truth.
let's start off with, ladies first, let's start off with Abby.
Can I have the pen?
Yeah, hold on. Sorry. This is rubbed off.
You ain't written yours down yet?
Not yet.
So you're late with that as well. Everything you're late with, man.
It's written down.
Are you ever on time?
No. It's
Turn it over.
right. It's rubbed out.
Right, let's see Abby's whilst he's writing this down.
I went Palmer, Saka, and Gravenberch. My top 3.
Give us your reasons.
I mean, Cole Palmer has actually been, I think, probably the best in Europe by quite some margin, actually, so far. Just a ridiculous player. I will never get over that Manchester City let him go. For me, that's as bad as Chelsea letting Kevin De Bruyne and Salah go. I think that will go down as one of the worst decisions. And a player that I feel like would definitely be starting for them at this point. Either way.
I heard somebody sort of saying that because he's such a and maybe you can jump in on this,
Maverick.
Because he's kind of a maverick type of player.
Yep.
He wouldn't have suited Pep because Pep's
Nah.
systemized. Do you think that's true?
Pep's always had time for naturally gifted, special footballers.
But they all play within a system, though. Don't
They do, but
Whereas he doesn't really at Chelsea. He's gets the freedom, doesn't he?
he's still in a system. But we treat him more like the main character, whereas maybe Man City wouldn't. But I still think if you show Pep, maybe the threshold, I mean, Man City are going for a title, we're not. So the threshold for being Pep's main character means you need to be absolutely unbelievable, which I think Palmer could have been, but he's got Foden and he's got De Bruyne, so there's more competition. For us, we didn't have that player, so we needed that player. He became that player, but he's unbelievable, yeah.
Okay.
He is. He's a jet. And I think that I kind of agree with what you said. Like maybe in a City setup, he would have been more subdued, like he wouldn't have the freedom he has at Chelsea. But then when you've got De Bruyne who's out for such long periods of the season, that's not something new, it happens every single year, he would have been the perfect replacement in my opinion. And then I put Saka here because again, as much as I hate Arsenal, I do really like some of your players. And I think Saka, 7 assists in 7 games? Like even if he's not necessarily scoring, I think it's just the 2 goals, but his corners, like, or the set pieces, or like the pinpoint accuracy that he has to like put a ball on Gabriel's head or Havertz, it's just ridiculous. And like he's also so durable, like he never gets injured. He's just so good, like,
And he's so strong as well when people
so
start barging
strong,
off the ball. Just
like
can't get it off him.
he's just
Consistencies with the thing
yeah,
that makes him
he's
so
just
good.
an unbelievable
country.
he's just an unbelievable footballer. And again, like, you hate to see it from a Spurs perspective, but like I massively appreciate him as a footballer. Like I love watching Saka. And then I went for Gravenberch because I think that's also most improved. Like we all know that Liverpool needed a 6. They needed an improvement in their midfield, which they didn't necessarily get. Zubimendi gate, but him and McAllister in that little pivot they've got going on, he looks like a different player. Definitely a different player to what we saw last year. And maybe that's down to the coaching, maybe it's down to confidence, but I just think he's been really, really good for Liverpool, and I didn't expect him to be as good as he's been.
Okay, Flex.
Yep,
Can I have
they've
your 3?
both waxed lyrical about 2 of mine, so I don't need to talk more. Oh, I have Palmer on mine.
All right, show the camera.
Sorry, Havertz, Gravenberch, and Saka.
You definitely have Palmer.
I did have Palmer though, so someone sabotaged my thing. I did have Palmer, but Palmer, Saka, we've just discussed. We know how good they are. I agree with it. Gravenberch, everything Abby just said, and I had Havertz because I wouldn't go 2 Arsenal players. I've just thought this for a hot minute, man. I just think he's had such a rough time at the beginning. So much scrutiny. Yes, big money, so scrutiny comes pressure and expectation. I get that. But I just love the way he's disproved this notion that he's a poor player. Shout out to Mikel Arteta for finding the right place for him and finding the system for him, trying him out in the left 8. Okay, cool. Now he's going to be on 9. No worries. But I just feel like there's so much scrutiny for Mikel Arteta when he gets certain players. Ben White, 50 million. Why are you doing that? Ramsey, why are you doing that? Now you're getting Raya. What are you doing? Who's this Tomiyasu? What's this? What's that? And in the end, he's the one who goes, I told you. But with Havertz, he's just been super consistent. Even if he doesn't score or doesn't get assists,
he has been scoring.
And he has been scoring, which is the thing that people criticised him most for. It's got to the point now where, let's be real, it's like Jesus, it's like, No, mate, Havertz. Like, I see even Matisse has had to sort of retract a bit and say, yeah, you know. First, Matisse was on this whole, he hasn't won nothing yet. He ain't won no Champions League with them. He ain't
Still
won
hasn't.
Premier League, which is all true, which is all very true. But even you had to say,
Good goal.
okay, yep.
Good goal.
Also, whereas like
He's becoming clutch.
last
Nice goal. You know
last
what I mean?
season where he was in midfield a bit more and that we weren't sure about where he was going to play for Arsenal and everyone was laughing at the £65 million.
Yeah.
Like that is a credit to Mikel Arteta and that's a credit to Havertz because putting him as a 9 probably wouldn't have been something that would have been your first choice. I think when he first like kind of moved to that position, you probably were like, oh, is this really going to work? But it's proved to be really good, and that's probably why you haven't gone and signed a striker. So it's a little.
ATJ
I'm being way
says there
too
really
nice.
quickly, and this is a really good one. Something couple. Someone please remind Flex Havertz versus Mount, who would have the most impact. I think we did that.
Yeah,
On
yeah,
an
yeah.
AFTV big fan debate or something like that.
Oh dear.
And obviously I was there.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll get the better value out of Mason Mount.
Oh dear.
All right, this
well.
Matisse. Who have you gone for?
Well, 2 of mine have been spoken about, Gravenberch and Saka.
Yeah.
But I've also got Van Dijk. I just think since his injury, the way he's been able to overcome that and get back to world-class levels in that Liverpool defence, which really has been very maybe underspoken about. Obviously, we speak about Slot and the control and the goals from Diaz, etc. But the defence, Konate and Van Dijk this season been ridiculous. And it was another very good result over the past weekend against Palace, clean sheet. And I just think he's just ridiculous, man. If I could pick, like, we've had some great centre-backs, we've had great defences in our time, but if I could pick a centre-back that I would have loved to see play for my club, he's the one. Because he's got everything. He's got everything. Even the opposition striker said he smell good. Do you know what I mean?
Also,
Finishes the game, his hair's still intact.
Yeah, man.
on Van Dijk,
Man, don't sweat.
you know how obviously people are, always will talk about Gabriel and Saliba because that is such a great partnership, but him and Konate have been ridiculously good
had
this
the best,
season.
haven't
They've
only
factually,
conceded
not that I
2
want to
goals,
bring
no?
up stats.
Yeah, they've had the best
Yeah,
defence.
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Because you only do that when it suits
they
you.
face the big boys here.
don't
But they have been brilliant. They have been brilliant. Right, I've gone for
Stop being nasty.
some couple of left field ones here, right?
Oh, nice.
So Cole Palmer, as we know, you
You
guys
put
have
Brennan
spoken about.
Johnson on your list.
Right.
Sorry, what?
Semenya.
You're on a wind up.
Semenya, I think.
I agree, but
right?
he's on a wind up.
Why is he on a
Hold on, I'm going to get to it. Semenya.
They've told you
I
to
think
do that.
Semenya at Bournemouth.
They've
right?
definitely told you to do that.
That guy's really impressed me, man.
He's been good. Top 3
you
though.
rewatched this
Top
guy?
3.
Semenya.
Wicked, yeah, he's good.
He's very good.
I'm like,
Top 3.
Listen,
And Wemmer's got to be up there. He's
Yeah.
second highest.
Yeah,
scorer,
I was thinking in
Liam Delan's
Buemo.
been sick.
Right, the other player, obviously,
good.
none of us have put Haaland in it, which is crazy.
Yeah.
He's
Cheat
been
code,
like-
mate.
Haaland has
yeah.
to score 40
Basically-
goals before I give him credit.
I've just sort of tried to go a bit left field with this, and then I've gone Brennan Johnson. And the reason I've gone for Brennan Johnson, right, is because he started the season. He's been heavily criticised, especially by
Agreed.
Tottenham fans.
I agree.
The guy had to delete his social media,
Best
right?
thing he
And
did,
this
mate.
is why, like, you know what I mean?
Focus.
Even though we kind of both did a similar thing here. I have a lot of admiration for this guy, right? Because even though he plays for Tottenham, but the fact that he was so down on everything that he had to delete his social media, and then he's come back after that and literally, was it 6
6
goals?
and 6.
6 games straight he scored goals in. That's impressive,
Yeah,
man.
it is.
That's like that, he's one of the most informed players
It's a
in
good
the Premier
show
League,
of
and
mentality.
yeah. It's because, you know, you look at him, especially when I looked at him, like a young player, you've come from Forest. You could easily crumble under that. You've gone to Tottenham now, a much bigger club. Well, maybe not.
Whoa, slow down there, buddy.
Nottingham
Slow
Forest.
down there, buddy.
Spurs is
No,
not
you
a
know what I
much
mean,
bigger club
right?
than
But
Nottingham
what I'm
Forest.
Bigger
saying
stadium.
is,
Bigger
not.
stadium.
right, he could
Spurs is
easily,
not a massive.
Oh, did you go to the NFL over the weekend?
No, it's not.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
but he could easily have crumbled
Why?
under the pressure. He could
your
easily have
stadium,
crumbled
though.
under the pressure.
I didn't.
And I'm going to give him a lot of respect for that, because I have a lot of admiration for that.
I think,
you know?
do you know what? I think Kulusevski, as bad, obviously we're talking, you know, people say, well, look how, shit they were the other day, but Kulusevski's been really good for Spurs as
Yeah.
well. He's been very good this season, one that's also most improved. John Duran, the comments are basically...
Yeah, lots of people are saying John Duran in the
Yeah.
comments. Someone put Semenya, laugh out loud. Mustafa, I'm sorry, go and watch this
No,
guy. He's
Semenya's
really
been very good.
I've been really.
Dibbling at Southampton. Right. Twist up Dallo.
he twists up Calafiori
Twists up
at the
Calafiori
weekend.
as well, yeah, got
I'll tell you,
past
that's
him. He's
another
all
good
right.
player.
He's all right,
I saw some
Delap's
people
getting
mention
goals.
Delap
Yeah,
as well. A lot
Delap's
of
been
people
good.
mentioning
Yeah.
Delap.
Not Rory.
Huh?
Not Rory Delap, but you know what I
Liam.
mean?
Yeah. Mbuemo over Johnson
Lewis
since
Diaz
Cat's
was good
Yeah,
for the
Mbuemo's
first
been
5
really good.
games, 5-6 games.
John Duran's been good, but he's been mainly on the bench. Somebody said here, Urian Timber, who's again, he's started really
Tielemans
well.
has started well.
Tielemans
Dwight
is
McNeil,
Morgan
someone's
Rogers
put a
been
mention
very
there. Gabriel, a lot of people
Very
mentioning. Jaden Sancho, Trent Alexander-Arnold's getting a mention. Caicedo,
Actually,
who's been good, hasn't he? Caicedo?
I feel like Madueke's been very good.
He has.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I wouldn't have him in top 3, but he's
As an honourable mention.
he's
been very
improved.
good.
DJ
He's
Denzer,
improved,
DJ
100%.
Danny Welbeck. That's a
been
good
good.
shout.
He's been good
He's
in
been
the
very
offense.
good.
He's been good.
Very good. Yeah, no?
Danny Welbeck.
Rico Lewis, just reading out.
Yes, sir, says
Kovacic.
Your team.
Diaz. No one mentioned Diaz.
Oh, yeah, he's
right?
been really good.
absolutely brilliant. That's Yuri Tielemans, as you said. David Raya,
Yes.
who's been excellent, says Agam. So this is some great. Minter is getting a mention here as well. He's been very good.
Minter?
He's been
Colwell.
sick. It was very good the other day.
Colwell's been brilliant.
Yeah, Colwell of Chelsea. Anthony, says Alan.
Okay, good sub appearance the other day. Villa kept the ball well.
Yeah, Dwight McNeil's getting a few mentions, and he has done well.
he's done all right.
He's done very, very well. So
I think
Mbuemo.
Cucurella as well should be up there.
That sounds so.
So a lot of Maguire.
Been good.
Says-
Johnny Evans.
Johnny
Been
Evans.
good,
Don't
mate.
think any Manchester United player should
They've
be
been
near
good.
this
Mazraoui's
conversation.
been good.
Evans.
Zed-
No
Zed-
Manchester United
All
player
right, what
deserves to
about
be
this one?
in
Zed
conversation.
says Smith Rowe.
Yeah, Smith Rowe.
Yeah, Smith Rowe. Yeah.
Gavardio is getting a mention there.